Hello, today our first lecture about cellular organelles and their functions. This is our learning objective, so we will talk about cell, we will talk about structure of the bacterial cells, prokaryote, and level of the organization of the body of the eukaryote. We will talk about structure of the eukaryotic cells, function of the cellular organelles, and structure of the virus and prions. So first, we will start with major classes of the living organism. So overall, all living organisms could be examples. Yes, we have animals, plants, fungi, and we have microorganisms. And all living organisms made up of the cells. So it means if we will take little piece from the microorganism, from fungi, plants, animals, and we will put it under microscope, what we will see? We will see that their body made up of the cells. This is why cells are considered structural and functional unit of living organism. So basic characteristic of all living organism include all organisms are composed of the chemical elements, and because of this, they obey same law of the chemistry and physics. Second, all living organisms have same level of the organization. So first, it's always start with atom. It's the smallest basic unit of any matter. Second will be atoms organized in the molecules. Then molecules will be organized in the, for example, cellular organelles and will be part of the cell. So a cell is a basic structural functional unit of all living organisms. And in here we can see under microscope some cells, and it's particularly this light microscopy from the brain tissue. So this is a neuron. This is the nucleus of neuron. This is the cell body of neuron. This is the nucleus of neuron. And this is the nucleus of the glial cells, the smaller. So we will start with structure of the bacterial cells. So bacterial cells, they consider prokaryote. Prokaryote. Karyote mean nucleus. Nucleus. It's a biggest usually organelle in the cell. And prokaryote, it means these organisms, such as bacterial cells, they do not have nucleus. So this is what's special. On the other hand, eukaryotic cells, eukaryotic. Karyotic, again, karyo means nucleus, and eu means that they have it. They have. So eukaryotic cells, they have nucleus. And it's more advanced, more complex cells usually have it. So example of the eukaryotic cells, plants, animal cells, fungi. And eukaryotic cells contain membrane-bound organelles. So not only they usually have nucleus, but they have other cellular organisms or little organs of the cell, which also have surround them cellular membrane. So all this membrane-bound structure inside of the cell. So this will be eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells, they will have cellular membrane, but inside of it, they will not have membrane, and all the parts will be without membrane. So the DNA will be just located freely. They will have RNA, they're not bound by the ribosomes, they're not bound by the membrane. So they lack in here inside of the cell. This is membrane bound or membrane and capture organelles. And one of the example of these organelles will be nucleus. So eukaryotic cells have nucleus. It's usually largest organelle inside of the eukaryotic cells. And in here on diagram we will see. So this is our prokaryotic cell. So usually what we have, not a nucleus, it's called nucleoid, and it just freely down in here large DNA molecule without any protection, no membrane covering this molecule. And we have ribosomes inside, so this is tiny structure in here. And in here we have membrane. And then some prokaryotic cells can have capsules, some can have cell walls. So this is this capsule and cell walls, it's depend on the different type of the organism have or have not this structure. But they all will have cytoplasmic membrane surrounding the cell. So this is always happening, always they have it. Flagella, this is long whip kind of for the movements. Again, this is optional. It's some prokaryotic cells will have it, some not. And this is like matrix, like all this is light green in here, structures kind of all surrounding here. And this is called cytoplasm, and this is present in the both prokaryotic and so this is animal cells, this is eukaryotic cells. So eukaryotic cells have inside organelles which bound, surround by the membrane. So this is the nucleus, largest organelle in here. And inside, this is where is DNA molecules will be. Inside of the nucleus, they also have very tiny, very dense, usually dark structure called nucleolus. What else? We will have also ribosomes. It will be similar to prokaryotic cells. And we, of course, will have cellular membrane surround, whole cell will be surrounded by this cellular membrane. And then eukaryotic cells will have other organelles. For example, in here, this is several show membrane-bound organelle. This is mitochondria. Then in here show looking like stack of the pancake. So this is Golgi or Golgi apparatus. This is some cytoskeleton. So this is all long tubes kind of structure in here and here. So this is cytoskeleton present. And in here, very large, show endoplasmic reticulum, all these tubes, which attach to the nucleus almost, but they all bound, surround with membrane. So in this case, that this rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, we will talk about this later today. So these all organelles and mitochondria, they have membrane which bounds around them. So this is what's special about eukaryotic cells. They have nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. And prokaryotic cells, like bacteria, they have cellular membrane, but inside they do not have this organelle cellular which bound with membrane, surrounded by the membrane. So overall, microorganisms are living organisms which require microscope usually to see them. They're very small. This is why they call microorganism. And microorganisms include both prokaryotic, mean without nucleus, such as unicellular, mean uni, mean one. Unicellular bacterial cells. So different bacteria, they all unicellular. It means whole the body made up of only on the one cell. But microorganisms also include some eukaryotic cells. So it means with nucleus, but they are mostly unicellular, so they're small still, but they have nucleus inside and other membrane-bound organelles. And this is will be not a bacteria anymore, so this is will be protist. Protist, again, like very simple protist. And if we're talking about animal cells, plant cells, and fungi, so this is all example of the multicellular organism. It's mean body of the fungi, plants, and animals made up not only one cell, but several cells, a lot of cells. Bacteria are prokaryotes that lack nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles, while protists are eukaryotes that possess both of these features. It demonstrates evolution of the living organism, development of the organism from more simple structure, such as prokaryote bacterial cells, which is singular cellular, no membrane-bound organelles, and then they become more complex structure. So it's more complex and it's become eukaryotic cells. And first it was protist. It means they again still they was singular cellular, but now they will already evolve to have membrane-bound organelle, including nucleus. And later on, from the protist was evolved more complex multicellular organisms such as fungi, plants, and animals. So in here we can see two types of the cells. So this is on here, this is bacterial cells. And we have ribosomes. In this case, they also have capsule in here and cell walls. They do not have nucleus. They call nucleoid what they have. So it's without membrane, just DNA molecule. And they have plasma membrane. On the other diagram in here, we see paramecium. Paramecium is considered eukaryotic organism, but it's a singular cellular. So whole body of this paramecium is only one cell. This is it in here, one cell. It has cellular membrane. This is the nucleus, and it's membrane-bound real nucleus, and we see in here different other organelles, different type in here, and these all organelles inside, they have membranes around them. So this will be typical eukaryotic cells, only it's still unicellular, have whole body only one cell.